Wastelanders? Christopher here, Gaslands NorCal. Thanks for joining me once again for another conversion video. Now, earlier this week, I was looking through my many bins of builds and cars and stuff, looking for a specific casting that I'm going to be doing for a commission build coming up. Stay tuned for that one. But I came across this bot wheels. It's new for 2018, so it's been around for a while, but I've never done anything with it, seen it really done in any kind of a conversion or anything, so I thought, I could do something special with this. But looking at it, I was wondering, what to do. I've done several sponsor builds in the previous video, so I want to do something like that. But looking at it, it's a little too sci-fi for Rutherford, but then again, it's a little too chunky for Miyazaki. And then I was thinking, Mishkin. I haven't done a specific Mishkin build ever, I think, so that's what we're going to do this time. It should be a lot of fun. If nothing else, maybe we'll come across new techniques, new products, who knows. Let's give it a shot. But first thing first, we got to get this baby apart, get her into the strip. Alright, so we're all primed up now. The only part of this casting that is actually die-cast metal is this top portion. The rest is plastic, which, okay, not really a big fan of plastic models, but whatever, Hot Wheels, we'll make it work. So for the coloring, since Mishkin is kind of a Soviet bloc-ish themed, whatever you want to call it, sponsor, I'm going to be doing red and yellow for the coloring. This top portion, I'm going to be using the Vallejo Express Color Serif Red, the Intense. For the bottom portion, I'm going to be using the AK Quick Chin Medium Intensity Space Yellow. And then for the bottom, going back to the Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl Coal Black. Kind of be using those colorations, color scheme all the way around throughout this entire build. I've already got some wheels and stuff picked out, some weapons I'm thinking about, the decals. Probably going to be using some decals from Rust Belt Customs. He does a great job. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So let's get everything all colored up and in their individual little realms, and then we will get it together because there's not really a whole lot else going on. There's no like interior or windshield or anything. So we'll just get it together and start looking at our wheels and weapons and stuff. So yeah, let's get her colored. Alright, so we're all painted up and back together, looking very, I don't know, kind of ketchup and mustard mixed with some old school Iron Man. Probably go through and get the metal parts painted up with some, probably some polished silver, like the front and the headlight areas, this metal piece on the back, and that way it'll still give it kind of a more of the actual vehicle look. It's times like this when I'm looking at the build and just kind of going, damn, what the hell is this? But you gotta keep pressing through because it will eventually turn out. I'm sure this is gonna turn out cool. I just gotta keep going on. Now I've got the wheels and the weapons all picked out. These weapons, I got a couple different ones just because I'm not sure exactly what I want to use. So I'll get them both painted up and kind of try out some different configurations to see how I want to, which direction I want to go. This thing, I don't know what it actually is, but it looked kind of like a satellite dish. So I drilled a hole in it and put a little piece of a paperclip in there because Mishkin has a perk called SatNav, satellite navigation, that works really cool. I'll explain that in a little bit, but I thought, hey, it looks like a satellite, so that's what we're going to use it for. The wheels I picked out, now these wheels, the big ones specifically, I printed these out a while ago, and these are actually miscasts. The hubcaps are supposed to look totally different, but they came out all wrong and wonky and stuff. But the wheels were fine, so I decided to keep them just in case I might have a use for them in the future. And yes, that's why I have all sorts of random pieces of 2x4 in the garage. So that's what we're going to use. So we're going to get everything all painted up. After we get the silver and stuff on there, then we'll agrax so everybody has the same level of grime going on. and then we'll see where we're at. So let's get everything all painted up and see what else we have to do. So let's do it. Alright, now, so you'll notice that there are 3 sets of tires here instead of just the normal 2. One of the things to really keep in mind and watch out for is when you're doing tires that have treads going in a certain direction is make sure that the tires are all going in the correct direction. Obviously I did not do that on these ones. Good thing that I caught it before I glued them on, because then that would really annoy me, but it is what it is, so it happens. I'm glad I caught it before I glued them on. So all that to say, we're not going to use these ones. So we're going to be using these ones. The inside hubcap area is still drying. The wheels, I guess, as opposed to the tires, is still drying with the black and stuff. So while those dry, we're going to go ahead and do some of the fine detail work. We'll get the decals on there, doing some Mishkin on the side, and a Mishkin decal on the front probably. Get the headlights on there. I'm not sure if this has any tail lights. Anyway, just all the fine detail work. Do a little bit of chipping, not a whole lot, before we get everything all glued back together and do some final dusting and some glamour shots and everything. Starting to look more and more like a Wastelands Mishkin mobile should. So let's get the decals on there, and then yeah, we'll see where we're at. But glad I caught that one. Alright, and there we have it. 1 Bot Wheels, nice play on words there, Hot Wheels. Bot Wheels Beast completely transformed into a Mishkin monster for the Wastelands. I actually really do like how this turned out. I did not have a lot of expectations going into it. Just looking at how the casting was formed and everything, and how there was just was a lot of plastic and everything. But it turned out really cool. I like it. Even more so, it really allowed me to look more into the Mishkin sponsor. They're kind of a beast. I mean, I normally just absolutely love running Rutherford, but with Mishkin, one of the perk categories you get is technology. Rocket thrusters, whiz-bang, gyroscope, mobile mechanic, Eureka, and the sat-nav. Which, like I said, the sat-nav, that allows, when you're rolling your skid dice, you're allowed to take one of your shift dice and set it aside, and you can keep as many as you want and use them for any vehicle in the team, which can be very, very powerful. So add that to the military perk group, like the Rutherford gets, and Mishkins can be pretty powerful. I may have to run a Mishkin team the next time we do League, and just to see how it turns out. I never really looked at them before. I don't know why. But yeah, this thing is pretty cool. I'm really liking it. If you enjoyed the video, if you learned something, do me a favor, hit that like button. My goal is to do weekly videos, whether they're vehicle builds, terrain builds, battle reports, whatever. So if that's for you, hit the sub button below and ring the bell to get notified when new content drops. I do sell all my builds pretty inexpensively on my Etsy page, so if you want to pick something up, see what else I've done, you can even request a custom build. If you'd really like to show some love, head on over to my Patreon page and get signed up. Every bit helps keep the paint flowing, the printer printing, and the camera rolling. Until next time, keep your foot on the gas and your finger on the trigger. Gaslands NorCal, signing out.